Hi humans! Let's dive into creating something simple but incredibly satisfying. Just like this windmill. I found this complete DIY kit on AliExpress. But let's see how complete this kit actually is. Firstly, let's check out what we get. A motor speed controller, motor itself, a charging PCB, 4 LEDs. Unsurprisingly for AliExpress kit, it comes with an instruction containing almost zero useful information. For structure, I got a bunch of pre-bent solid wire. We also got 2 batteries, which need to be unwrapped. And there is a wooden base. To hold everything together, the kit includes crazy glue and hot glue. Also it gives a heat shrink tubing. Since there are no steps or hints on where to start, I'm diving into the most obvious part, placing LEDs into the propeller. Next, I decided to solder the tower frame. After that, I returned to the propeller to create its final shape. And then was a time to mount the motor. At this point, it was essential to figure out how the electronics will be placed and wired up. After arranging everything on the base, here is the plan. Run 2 wires from the batteries to the BAT plus and BAT minus spots on the charging PCB. From the out plus and out minus spots on the same PCB, we go to the power input on the speed controller. And finally, from the speed controller, we run 2 wires to the motor. Easy peasy. We need to wire the batteries in parallel. The kit provides a common negative wire, but as soon as I tried to bend it slightly to fit my layout, it snapped. Not a big deal. I grabbed my own solid copper wire, which bends beautifully. And just look at that! I made a pretty nice shape for that common minus. Also, this kit doesn't include pre-bent wire for common positive, so I custom bent my own copper wire for that too. For reliable insulation and clean look, I slid clear heat sink tubing over the exposed conductors. And that looks nice. Connecting power to the lights on the spinning propeller took some brainstorm. Here is my plan. I put heatsink tubing over the half of the motor shaft to isolate it. Then I installed the pre-bent slip ring contact for the propeller. This serves as the positive connection, so I soldered it to the positive side on the motor. For the negative side, since the shaft is isolated, I connected the negative motor output directly to the motor chassis, which sends ground through the shaft. Then I soldered the negative side of the LEDs using the provided wires and pressed the propeller tightly on the shaft, finishing up the propeller connection for the motor. You will notice I am installing adhesive rubber pads under the PCBs and rubber mat under the batteries. Why? Simple. The bottom of these PCBs aren't flush. They have sharp solder joints and component legs. Lifting them up gives some breathing room to adjust and gives me ability to steady mount everything on the base. Fun fact, I didn't use a single drop of the provided hot glue or super glue for this project. Just double-sided tape, adhesive pads and a single zip tie. That's it, everything that holds this project together. The included slip ring was pretty inefficient. It needed more tension, otherwise the lights would flicker while spinning. I fixed it by inserting a small plastic spacer between slip ring and the motor body to keep the pressure tight. And just look at that! I like this final result. The motor speed adjustment is so smooth, so satisfying. Let's just enjoy this beauty. See you soon in my next video.